Big City Greens, chipped off. This episode is basically about Chip explaining what happened after the events of Chipocalypse Now. Yeah, this episode is basically just a lore dump. A little disappointing, but it is understandable as it is, I guess, required that there is a bit of explanation as to why and how Chip survived the helicopter crash. So this episode basically serves as a setup of sorts. This isn't like it is the return of Chip, but it isn't like officially the first episode. I wouldn't really call it that. I just call it as like a setup to the episodes that will start Chip or that will feature Chip. Anyways, this episode is okay. The song at the middle point was alright. Honestly, this episode in the grand scheme of things will probably be quite forgettable for me. There was a few good parts in it. The parts I liked were like how the mirror switches between Norm, Al, and Chip at the end of the episode, like near the end of it. That was sick. That gave me like major horror movie vibes. Super awesome how they did that. Then, of course, the part with Not Cricket and the Not Green family. What were they called? The Bean family? That Chip or Norm Owl meets. Then Norm Owl immediately prodding revenge against Not Cricket. Especially the part where he wanted to ram a helicopter into Not Cricket's face. Which was super funny. And a funny little nod to Chipocalypse Now. And what he did to actual Cricket. And what he did to the real Cricket, not Cricket. Man, it's so confusing. It's so confusing. Watch the episode. You'll understand what I mean. But aside from those positives, I mean, this episode's alright. I'm at least a little okay with it because it was a little entertaining. Chip is just that good of a character, really. He can carry an episode like this one that would have easily been an average or a mediocre. For me, at the very least. So a backstory / lore dump episode featuring him, isn't actually too bad. At least the fourth wall breaking joke he did at the beginning, where he said it would take only about 11 minutes, was okay enough. Granted, extremely predictable, but at the very least, it kind of just warned us about what was gonna happen in this episode. I guess the only real, criticism, legitimate criticism that I have. Of course, obviously, I still think this episode's alright. I don't think it's, great or good. I just think it's okay, But I don't really understand why the beginning part is here in the first place. The part with the Green family heading into the wax museum. You could really, honestly, just cut it from this episode and you'll lose nothing, really. Just have it start with Greg. I hope it's Greg. I think it's Greg. I remember it being Greg from, Wholesome Foods or whatever, and he's not Greg from Wholesome Foods anymore because he dropped that moniker. But just have it start with Greg coming out of the wax museum, then Chip just pulls him down into a sewer, just like what we saw in the episode. I was honestly expecting a joke to be at the very end of the episode that kind of called back to them being inside the wax museum. But nothing happened. I was expecting Tilly or Cricket to just go it actually wasn't that interesting in there. As they exit the museum and then the episode ends. I get that they were trying to make Chip's appearance a surprise, and that's probably why they did this. To, add a little curveball in there. It makes you think it's going to be about the wax museum because Chipped, the wax Chip, But, come on, guys. Look at the episode title. Chipped off. Does that not sound like it gives that away just a bit? But yeah, I mean, episode's alright. I think it was a little disappointing. I was definitely expecting it to be a little bit more triumphant and a little bit more of an episode that will be more remembered by me. Unfortunately, though, it's just kind of there. I think it's fine for what it is. But it's just not really that good. Not as good as I thought it was gonna be, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Decent, okay, alright episode, pretty much. And yeah, I'll go and see you guys soon. Take care, everybody.